So Les, I'd like to ask you first of all your views on the fire safety order and what you think can be done to improve its efficacy.
Well, the RRO was well received. It was at a time of a need to reduce the amount of red tape on business and part of government commitment to reduce the general burden of regulation on businesses. But I wonder whether the balance has gone too far. There is a worry or a fear that a lot of businesses don't know where to go or how to go about putting their self-assessment in place, and that they will, for the lack of this, just not have one, and that prosecutions will end up, and that my fear is that there will be a tragedy and a coroner will say, well, do you know what, there should have been some sort of a compulsory system, a regulated system, simpler than it was in the past, but something that would oblige people to have these self-assessments done, and that for the want of that, a tragedy occurred, and that, of course, we all want to avoid.
And how do you see the fire industry perhaps contributing to an improvement in these outcomes?
Well, we have to be able to advertise and promote to businesses the absolute need to do proper self-assessments. And we also need to find ways that the industry can provide consultants, advisors, properly regulated, properly licensed, properly trained, to go and help businesses to make their businesses and their staff and their stock and their investment safe. And if we can do that, there's a tremendous opportunity, because as the number of licensed advisors come along, and the small profits that are made from that will help to re-advertise the need to have this work done, and to the ultimate objective, which is to make people safer and to maintain the economic viability of businesses.
So you're not advocating a return to the fire and rescue service certification system under the Fire Precautions Act?
No, the Fire Precautions Act was of its day. It was necessary in sleeping places, in hotels and other situations. It maybe went over the top. Maybe it was too regulatory. That's a debate for another time. But I think that maybe the problem at the moment is that there is not enough penetration of people doing self-assessment, and that we really need to get people doing assessments, becoming aware of safety, fire safety, continuity, maintaining what's your business going to do if there is a tragic fire, both for the staff and for the future of your investors. And that if we can get people to do this, it doesn't need to be anything as near as bureaucratic as it was in the past, and it would serve to keep people safe.
Okay, I'm going to ask that one again because of the noise that we had. Sorry about that. So, Les, you're not advocating a return then to the certification process under the previous Fire Precautions Act?
No, that was of its time, and for sleeping places, hotels and so forth, and the world has moved on. I think the problem is that business people don't really know where to go for help and support, and there needs to be something that enables people to keep their businesses safe, keep their staff safe, keep their property and investments safe, and to keep continuity of employment and business, without going into the great length of bureaucratic regulation that perhaps persisted before. We need to find a middle ground, a typical British compromise.
Do you think an officially approved scheme for fire risk assessors is one way forward?
Definitely. I'm very, very much in favour of that, and also a bit of money put into advertising in businesses, raising the horizon with business representatives, Federation of Small Business, CBI and other bodies that can help to push home to businesses the need to have these assessments done.